I'm going to show you guys how to use public transportation. Google Maps is my absolute go-to, so download this app. There's different ways you could buy your tickets. Sometimes you'll see little kiosks like this by a bus station or in a metro. Sometimes there is a ticket office. Sometimes you could buy a 3-day pass, a 2-day pass, a 1-day pass, or you can just do one way. Sometimes you could buy right at the bus with cash or with credit card, but there's these little ticket machines in the bus where you scan your ticket. Sometimes if you do not scan your ticket and they catch you, it could be $100 fine or more. At the metro, they'll have these little stations as you go into the metro to scan your ticket. On Google Maps, you'll see different logos for different transportation, like bus. It's usually big, it'll have the name on the front. Metro is an M or sometimes a U for underground. Usually you have to go downstairs to access the metro or underground. There's also a tram, which could look like this or even like this. As far as reliability, the metro is the most reliable because it makes every single stop and is on a timetable, whereas the bus, it will not stop sometimes if no one requests it. There's a little red button that you could push on the bus to request a stop, and even sometimes the tram. So reliability, I would say metro, then tram, then bus. In Google Maps, you could put in your destination, and then there's 3 little sections at the top where you could choose to drive a car, you can walk, or you can use a tram. And it shows you on the top how long each would take if you decide to choose that. Now, if you're traveling and you don't have a car, that could also be taxi that you could use. If you don't want to walk, then public transportation is the cheapest option. So if you click on the public transportation, it's going to give you different options. Usually the first one is the quickest, but you could check on the right and it will tell you about how long it's going to take if you choose that option. You can also look and see what kind of transportation that you would need to use if you only have a bus ticket or only a metro ticket. In this case, I chose option 1. You'll see I have to walk 6 minutes to get to my first public transportation. You can click this live view button if you're not exactly sure which direction that you need to walk, and you aim your camera around at the buildings and it will
Turn
show you
left onto
exactly
McLeod
where you
Mebison
are. It might be
Jadesi.
tilted up just like that, and that blue dot will show you where you need to go. You're going to point your camera toward the direction of the blue dots and continue walking in that direction. And as you start walking, the blue dots start fading away. When you're choosing public transportation, you could see sometimes 2 logos in one trip. That means you're going to be on a tram and a bus because you could see those logos. And the signs next to it, that is showing what number will be on the bus. Like on the bus, it will say 36 CE. In cases like this, where you see multiple numbers next to a bus, you could choose either one of those. So anything between the 2 arrows, then you could choose either one. So for instance, this one that's in between 2 arrows, you do have to get on that bus. But then the next one where it shows an arrow and then 2 numbers before it comes to another arrow, you could choose either one of those. And that whole time is going to take 1 hour and 1 minute to get somewhere. If you choose the second one, it takes 51 minutes. You're going to look for the name or number that it shows on that Google Maps next to that bus logo. In this case, this is a metro, and you're going to look for the side that has this name next to it. So if you're wondering what side of the platform, go toward that. When you get to your destination, if you kind of scroll up, you can get some information like what tram station you're going to be at, what is the number that is going to be on the tram, and in what direction it's going next to that name. So you're going to see that name on the tram or on the bus. And here it says it's scheduled in 12 minutes. So I know it's going to be there in about 12 minutes. At 9:25 it shows. If I miss that 9:25, I can see it's also going to be in 17 minutes and 22 minutes. Now I can also see that I'm going to be on it for 3 stops, which will be about 7 minutes I'm going to be on that tram. And the ending location is going to be Karakoi. And I will get there at 9:32. If I miss the first one, I can click the also in 17 and 22 minutes. I can see other departures and then click which one you're going to make. If you want to see what stops, click on ride for stops and you can see all the different stops that you would have to make and the names of each one, ending at the one that's in bold letters. That's the one you're going to get off at, and it will tell you you're going to get off at about 8:30 a.m. If you're riding a bus, remember it doesn't always stop at every station if someone doesn't request it. So you can scroll that menu down, go back to the maps and follow that blue line and see where you need to stop. So each of these white dots that you see is a stop. 1, 2, 3, and then the last one, 4, is that big one that I'm ending at. So that you're gonna follow that blue line all the way there. So if you're wondering, okay, did I miss a stop? Just follow that blue line and you can see how close you are. If you're wondering if you're on the right side of the platform, you're gonna aim your phone toward the direction of the line that the tram or bus is going.
My phone was pointing to go this direction, which means I need to be on the right side because the bus is gonna go that way. But if my phone was pointing the opposite direction, then I would know I'm on the wrong side of the road, because on this side of the road, the bus is obviously just gonna only go this way. So I would need to be on the other side to go that way.
In this case, I would need to be at a bus station that was named Karakoi, and I'm looking for bus 66 that says Goldbag on it, and it's scheduled now. I can see I'm at Karakoi bus station because it says Karakoi right here at the top. I am currently waiting for bus 66. A lot of buses have come by, like so, but I'm looking for one that says 66. And I know I'm on the right side of the road or right side of the platform because I looked at what direction the bus is going to go, and it's going to go this way, so I know I have to be on this side. And here again, I can scroll up. I can see how many stops I'm going to make. There's 5 stops. It's going to take about 10 minutes. These are the names of each of the stops, and I'm ending at the Omar. Again, I can scroll down and I can follow the line and see where I am, following the dots and when I need to get off in case I missed what stop number we were at. In this case, this trip was going to take me an hour. I had 31 stops, and if I got distracted, what I could do is at the bottom, you could say leave a reminder, and you could set the time for right before you need to get off, to give yourself a little extra time, but to remind yourself to get off soon. The other thing I like about Google Maps is that I can add multiple destinations. So you put in your first destination, then the 3 dots at the top right, you can add another stop, and you can add up to letter I. And then once I put all the different destinations on there, then I can kind of move them around. So I can put like them in order, so I have less walking distance between them, so I'm not going back and forth. So if I scroll in on the map, I could see D is closer to A, so I can move D right under where A was, and I can move them around so it could be A, B, C, D, in order, so I'm not walking back and forth.